Good afternoon. My name is Adam Tobin, and I would like to share with you my findings of the research in reference to childhood obesity and how it is directly linked to adverse childhood experiences. Um, First of all, we look into is what is an adverse childhood experience, also known as ACEs. So these are different things that happen to children when they're early in their developmental stage. Things such as neglect, sexual abuse, their parents being incarcerated, or um, there's just a number of factors that could be considered an adverse childhood experience. And we wanted to see in the research the direct link from ACEs and how that affects childhood obesity. And over the past few decades, there's been a lot more attention put specifically toward ACEs and how they are directly linked with a greater likelihood of childhood obesity later on. Um, so some of the findings were very interesting. Much of the research does agree that ACEs do in fact increase this likelihood, and they also agree that the likelihood of ACEs contributing to childhood obesity is more prevalent in low income families, in low income areas, and low social economic status. And I also found that the research agreed that, just one second, that girls that are exposed to ACEs are more likely to be impacted than boys are. Um, the research does agree that targeted interventions towards directly towards ACEs or interventions imposed on children that are exposed to ACEs early on in childhood can be effective. Um, there was one point of disagreement in the research, and a couple of the articles felt that victims of physical and sexual abuse were impacted greater than any of the other victims for any of the other ACEs that they were exposed to. In one piece of research actually felt like neglect from their findings, neglect and exposure to that was increasing the likelihood of children becoming obese more than any other of the adverse childhood experiences. The way that I was able to do my research, of course, I got the scholarly and peer reviewed articles from looking through the Durham Tech Library, and I felt it was a very rewarding experience to find articles that weren't exactly the same as far as their reason for writing or direction, but they had many points of overlap as far as ACEs and childhood obesity is concerned. I just tried to make sure that I read the articles very thoroughly and to try to get the best understanding with the language that they used, and taking notes the whole time as I read those to try to find where they overlapped. Overall, very rewarding experience. I learned quite a bit, and I hope that my paper reflects the same. Thank you so much.